Never seen a yacht like this in my dreams. Sailing the seas in boats so grand, it seems. But we're just humble sailors. Salt upon our cheeks, gold classic every day of the week. And everybody's like luxury, Maggie, caviar, and catering. Sea legs get tired just from walking across the damn thing. We don't care.
Hey everybody, welcome back to BoatFools Sailing. Thanks for tuning in last week and thanks for watching this week. Canadian Ken and I are in the HQ today, back to our BoatFools Top 10. And this week, based on the excitement for the lower priced boats we've been finding lately, we're taking it to New England and finding the top 10 coolest boats for under $25,000. And there's some really cool boats out there.
There's some really nice ones, and for the price, and then you look at all the upgrades they put into them, I mean, you're getting some smoking deals.
Right, you gotta look. You can't just expect to find your sweetheart boat the first go around. You gotta dig deep, you gotta keep looking, but the deals are out there. In other news, before we get started, we're gonna go to an every other Saturday release for the summer because we got a lot of sailing to do, we got some adventuring to do. However, if we do see a cool deal and a really neat boat, we will jump in and get that out there. Also, next week, I am delivering a buddy's Erickson 32 from Portsmouth, Rhode Island to Camden, Maine. We inspired him through BoatFools. He had an old Erickson 35 and we found him this cool Erickson 32 to replace it. We're bringing it home and it should be fun, so we're going to document that too. So
yeah, it should be
I may never
right.
see you again.
No, I'll wait for you here.
Yeah, it
Safe
should be
travels.
Right, yeah, thanks. It should be a fun delivery. We'll be going through the Cape Cod Canal and then across the Gulf of Maine. So stay tuned for that one. So, you ready to rock and roll? You think you have a winner?
I think I got them all. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Win, play, show, and you're doing the what is that? The super exacta?
Yeah.
Where you have to get the fourth place.
There's some really good ones, but yeah, I'm confident.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy with my picks. So let's go blast through these and have some fun. All right, everybody, here we go. So we have 10 picks here. We're presenting 3 each in detail. Then we have 2 each honorable mentions, so 4 honorable mentions. And of course, we're using our fail-safe BoatFools scorecard. If you're not familiar with how to use it, we're going to have a little segment on that. But we're scoring each boat 0 to 5, 0 being the lowest, 5 being the highest, and over 5 categories. So a perfect boat would score 25 points.
25, so, good math.
Yeah, right. That was some quick thinking, huh? All right. So here we go. All right, if you're new to the show, this is the BoatFools Top Sailboat Scorecard. You got 5 categories, 5 points each, 1 point being the lowest, 5 being the highest. You can do half points in between. A perfect boat will score 25 points. We have not yet had that. The 5 categories are as follows. Seamanship. By that I mean, how well has the owner maintained this boat over its lifetime? Affordability. Is a boat expensive, inexpensive? Is it going to be expensive to maintain? Comfort. Can you sit 4 or 5 in the cockpit? Is it going to be comfortable to sail or is it going to be uncomfortable? Is it usable? Usability, does that mean is it easy to get on and off the mooring or out of a slip, or do you need multiple people to help you do this? Is she pretty? Always controversial, but it is subjective. Is she pretty to look at? Can you row away from your boat and be like, you know what? That's a darn good looking boat. So that's how you do it. We're doing 5 boats today. Follow along.
Okay, what's your first one there, Mr. TCC?
All right, Kenneth. My first pick of the day, bear with me here, a 1961 Rhodes Swiftsure, 33 feet, list price of $14,500, located down in Westport Point, Massachusetts. That's a tongue twister. So she is a beautiful boat. So if you're looking for a classic with classic lines, this is my pick. She is one of 150 of these boats built. She is the Commodore Swift SH, which is a little bit more decked out in terms of custom teak interior finish and mahogany interior trim. And she has a new Westerbeek as of 1993 with apparently very low hours. So they originally came with an atomic 4 gas. This is diesel. She's got a holding tank and a couple other modern electronics, but really you're getting an original 1961 Rhodes Swiftsure. Now, I'm going to just warn you, the pictures are absolutely terrible, so I'm going to blast through these, but you can see a nice stepped coach roof, big dead lights in your main cabin and then smaller ports throughout, but really, really classic line. She is fiberglass. Looks like she's got aluminum spars, And the interior, like I said, it's like going back in time. You're getting a 1961 boat, with the exception of the updated electronics. Deck step mast with it looks like a tabernacle there to lower it and raise it. There are your engine components, and these pictures are basically worthless, but you get the sense that this boat has been loved over the years, and it's got a little stove down below for some heat. Yeah,
like that.
We'll go back there for a second. That's a nice feature for those shoulder evenings that are cool in the spring and fall. Nice woodwork that could probably be cleaned up, but everything looks serviceable in terms of the cushions. I'm not sure what we're looking at there, but some innards and some fiberglass, but really, I don't know who the photographer was on this, but it's absolutely horrific. Ship-to-shore power, it appears. It looks like you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe sleeping for 6 if there aren't any quarter berths. You got 2 on each side, 2 up on the bow.
Yeah, stuff them in there.
Yeah, nice big cockpit, tiller steering. It is aluminum spar, and look at this. It's just beautiful, in my opinion. Dual anchors up on your bow there, which is nice with little cradles. There's a hatch. There's your Westerbeak, which looks to be in really nice shape. Not sure what that is, but I just find these classics just stunning to look at. Centerboard, and here's your layout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6.
Yeah, pack them in there.
Pack them in there, head, galley, you got everything you need. So let's quickly go to the sailboat data on this. So there's a picture of one under sail, really pretty.
Yeah.
Nice sheer on this, nice overhangs, and nice protected rudder hung off the back of your keel, and your prop is protected as well. And you've got a length overall of 33, length on water of 23 basically, and a beam of 10 feet and a max draft with a board down of 6.58 feet and a minimum draft of under 4, which is fantastic. Fiberglass construction, 150 built, Philip Rhodes design, built in Holland.
In the Netherlands.
Yeah, in the Netherlands. It says here Atomic 4, but this is a Westerbeek diesel, holds 28 gallons of diesel and 60 gallons of water. Sailor displacement of nearly 16, so pretty quick and light air. A nice, reasonably stiff boat at 29.57, and she's an ultra heavy displacement at 426, comfort ratio of over 31 and nearly 32, capsizing screening of under 2 because you want to do some offshore racing, and an S factor of 0.95. So a reasonably, modest sailing boat, very comfortable with that comfort ratio of nearly 32. So.
Yeah, it's a nice looking boat, really.
Really pretty boat, in my opinion. So
we're liking these European boats a little more than
at least European built, right?
Built, yeah.
But I just think it's a classic, and if you're looking for that kind of boat at that price of $14,500, that's
deal.
pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So if you're down in Massachusetts, go check this boat out. What do you say? You want to score it up?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's store this up. So,
All right.
Westport Point.
Westport Point. Say that 3 times fast. All right, here we go. All right, Kenneth, let's see it. What's your first pick of the day?
All right, my first pick of the day is a 1985 lberg 29. And
Nice.
It's really nice, located in Jamestown, Rhode Island.
Yep.
It's named Serenity. Serenity now.
Serenity now.
And built in Ontario at Allen Nye Yacht. So
All right.
that's good, eh?
Hey.
Some nice upgrades. It's sort of basically the cousin, you can
Well, hold
say.
on. 22.5.
Oh, sorry, 22.5.
That's a good price. This is a pretty boat for a 1985 boat.
Yep, it's got some, it's lots of teak and bronze, they say, on it, and it's sort of a cousin to the Cape Dory 2830.
Yep.
It's got a new sail, so it's got two transverse battens, 2 typical battens, 2 reefing points, new Garmin, some other, head pump, sanitation hoses, things like that.
Yeah.
It's got a Yamar 16 horsepower. We don't know the hours, I don't believe, on that.
No, it doesn't say.
So to take a look around, it's a beautiful looking boat.
Yeah, that's a pretty boat, and like you said, she's 1985, so it should be reasonably easy to insure. But look at this down below, Ken.
Yeah, everything's in good shape. I mean, even the sole floor is great. All the cushions look in really good, serviceable condition.
Liquor cabinet under there, I presume.
You got to have that.
Yeah, of course.
Key. A lot of woodwork down below, but it looks like it's been maintained and oiled. That's what we usually do in our boat.
Yeah, that looks beautiful.
Yeah, very
a little
classic.
video of her
I
sailing.
like the classic of her sailing.
Not very windy, so you can't
It's got a
get
little
a
sort of
sense.
stepped up coach roof, similar to the one we just looked at.
Yeah, the Swift shirt, and there she has
full
full keel.
a protected prop.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really nice. This one says
Nice wheel steering. It looks nice, like a wooden helm on this.
Yeah, there's a pretty shot of it at night on the horn.
I think this is a nice pick. And you mentioned the 2x2 main, so that's like you said, 2 transverse battens and 2 regular. That's what they call a 2x2 apparently, which we just learned through Bondale Sales. But I really like this. And
Yeah, lots of bronze ports and like 10
Yeah.
ports, 6 are operable, and 1 operable hatch, which is great. Sleeps 5, it's got a quarter berth. So
and the new 2023 Garmin EchoMap 7400 chart plotter. That's pretty nice.
all that for 22.5 is pretty good. And these are just asking prices, by the way.
Yeah, that's, you know what? That's an excellent point. They can ask whatever they want, and it doesn't become what it's worth until there's a buyer who's willing to pay whatever amount that is. But I think this is a really pretty boat, and you found this on Facebook. All right, so let's look at the sailboat data on this one. Okay, there she is. Pretty lines. I do see the Cape Dory
Resemblance
appeal
there.
and look there, and even the roads that we just looked at in terms of the full keel, protected prop. Nice. So length overall 29.25, length on water of 22.25, beam of just over 9, and max draft of only 4.5 feet. So great for down in the Rhode Island, Massachusetts area. Only 80 of these were built, as you say, it was built by Nye Yachts.
Yeah, he says this is one of the last of the 80 built. So I don't know where the other ones went or what that's.
I don't know if that's a bad sign.
But Carl Alberg design, so you know they're going to sail beautifully.
Of course, 12 gallons of diesel, 30 gallons of water, a little light on the water, but ballast displacement of almost 16. I'm sorry, sail area displacement of almost 16. Nice stiff boat at 44.44 with the ballast displacement. Heavy displacement at 364 with your displacement
So
to
you can
length.
take that out in some good open
Oh
water.
yeah. Comfort ratio of just about 30, capsizing and screening of under 2 at 1.77, and an S factor of 1.22. So it's not going to be the fastest boat in light air, but she will go when it pipes up. And like you said, take her anywhere.
Take her anywhere.
I mean, this boat is solid.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really, really okay number 2 pick for you. It's not. All joking aside,
But
that's
really pretty under sail. Yeah.
absolutely, and that's going to be a steady Eddie boat, nice stiff boat, and you can enjoy that. So at 22.5 as the asking price, I think that's very reasonable, and I think that's a really pretty boat, a classic looking boat, and 1985, so you can easily insure it.
Yeah, a little easier than the one you picked.
Yeah, 1961. Yeah, that's going to be a little more difficult, but not impossible. Okay, you want to score this one up?
I do.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Tristram, what do we have now, and where is it, and what is it?
Okay, all right, we're back in Maine for this one, and I saw this and I found it to be adorable. It's a 1980 Bayfield 29, list price of $8,500, located in Winterport, Maine. And these boats are really kind of cool looking to me. They've got a clipper bow, which you can just sort of see here. And she's a nice beamy boat at 10 feet with a length overall of 29 feet, and she only draws 3.5 feet. Wow. So you can take this thing anywhere gun calling, beamy, Northport, Maine, and it sort of has a throwback look. Nice little pulpit here. It's a cutter rig, and wheel steering, nice deep cockpits, and nice high combings there. Yeah, right? A little bit pirate ship feel here with this piece of wood trim back there. Engine looks a little older, but it says it's in excellent condition. It's a Yanmar, I believe, but the interior looked clean and tidy, and that always says a lot to me. It just tells me that the people care about this boat. The wood all looks to be in fine shape. It has a larger forward head configuration. You can see the forward hatch right here. And so that's nice for a 29-foot boat to have a little extra space up in the V berth is where the head is basically. Right. So you lose some sleeping room, but you've got, I think, 2 quarter berths on this. But nice chart built right into your dinette table there. So if you're if you lose your meal, that's your nav station as well.
You get outside the lines, you're in trouble.
Liquor cabinet, aces, and
nice detail though.
A nice detail, but everything looks clean and functional. And there's your little galley. So I think it's probably an alcohol stove. A little 1-hole sink there. But here are your lines on this. So cutaway 4-foot on that full keel and protected prop. Nice little rudder. But I just so this is not the configuration. This is the head up in the bow. I just think it's kind of adorable. And I just want to quickly read the notes. Well taken care of and has just summer use in Maine only. Roomy forward head layout, Yanmar diesel, 15 horsepower, 10-foot beam, 3.5-foot draft. So $8,500. Yeah. You could be sailing right now. So here's the sailboat data on her, which we already saw that. But length overall of 29 feet, length on water of just about 22, beam of just over 10 feet at 10.17. and a max draft of 3.5 feet. That is cool. 350 of these were made, which is
amazing.
astounding.
Yeah.
Designed by Ted Gozzard, and he had his own boat, the Gozzards, which were popular. Similar look to him with the clipper ship bow and that sort of thing. 15 horsepower, 19 gallons of diesel, only 20 gallons of water, so maybe you can
get a bladder.
Get a bladder, yeah. So, a pretty quick boat in light air. Sail area displacement of 18. Nice stiff boat at 35.29. Ultra heavy displacement really at 368. Comfort ratio of 25, a little bit lower than that. And that's probably because of that shallow draft keel. Not a lot of down low ballast.
Right.
Capsizing screening just at 2 and an S factor of 1.25. So if you're looking at breaking into sailing from, or maybe moving up from a dinghy to your first sort of coastal cruiser weekender, $8,500, you're not going to get hurt with this boat. It really looks pretty
and it's
sweet.
Not like just everything you see in the market. It's a unique look. I like it.
I agree. And I don't know if I mentioned this, it's got radar.
Yeah.
So, and a little Dodger here. You've got everything you need to go cruising now. And I just think it's sweet.
Nice.
Reported to be in excellent condition, and you know how I feel about that.
Exactly.
Raise an eyebrow and shake your head and say, no way is it in excellent condition. But what do you say?
Let's score that one up. And boy, that for the price, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat, isn't it? All right, Kenneth, what's your second pick here? What are we looking at?
All right, this is a 1984 Pearson 38.6, and it's listed for $24,750, and it's down in Fairfield, Connecticut.
Oh, yeah.
There are only apparently 20 hull designs of these built, so there's not a lot of these around, so you'd have a unique boat for sure. It looks like it's very well maintained, obviously, hopefully for the price.
That picture's crap. But...
Yeah, not good. Kathmandu, the name of the boat. It looks like it's got a Bimini Dodger, or at least some sort of fly.
Yep.
Good
electronics. Looks like auto helm maybe in there somewhere, but I don't see it on the wheel.
But down below the sole floor looks fantastic.
Wow.
We'll shoot for that next year on our boat. All serviceable cushions. It's got roller furling. It's got radar. It looks like good self-tailing winches. So I think this is it's a nice boat. I like that flooring in there.
In the cockpit there. And for those watching, there's just very little information on this, and it just says that it's in great shape. There's your Bimini sort of fly connection. It's not a traditional Bimini.
I'm not sure if you'd want to use that under sail, but it.
I did see a skylight in it, and the traveler's on the coach roof, so perhaps you can.
That's right. That's right, because you don't have to go through. Yeah.
This is really nice, Ken. This is a nice looking boat. Big primary winches there. Holy smokes. Those look like they're off of like Fiesta or something.
I like that. Even the binnacle cover, you have a cover for the whole binnacle. It's kind of nice too.
Oh yeah, nice coverage up there, and you've got a transom hung ladder. It looks like.
Yeah.
It reminds me a little bit of the Morgan 38.
Yeah.
It's similar sort of with the transom and the tow rail and.
We're not sure if this is a centerboard or not. We'll have to check when we get to the sailboat data. But on this one, there's so little information because this was another Facebook post.
Yeah, and this shows it's a cutter rig. I don't know if the subject is.
I don't think it is.
It doesn't state it. Yeah. Maybe it can be rigged up as such, but that would be kind of nice.
Yep.
And you're right. It shows it as centerboard or shoal draft.
Now up here, the prop is not really protected, so you'd probably want to get a cutter on that.
Yep. That's a good point.
But not many of these were made. So
only, what did you say, 20 of these were made? That's insane.
Yeah.
So it does say
Bill
cutter.
Shaw, it says cutter, but it didn't
You're
look
right,
like
Bill Shaw design. All right, so length overall over 38 and a quarter, length on the water 30. A beam of 11 and a half. She's a nice beamy boat, fiberglass construction. We don't know about the decks. Like you said, Bill Shaw design. It says here it came with a Perkins.
That's what we have. Perkins diesel, 45. That'll
45 gallons. That's nice.
And look at that, 150 gallons of water.
Whoa.
That's more than we've seen.
That's 50 gallons. Yeah, that's more than we have. That's
a lot of extra ballast when you fill those up.
Yeah, right. Sail area displacement of nearly 17 at 16.67. That's going to be quick in light air. It's going to be quick overall. Ballast displacement, nice stiff boat at 41.38. Displacement to length is she's a moderate displacement. Actually, just I think teetering over into heavy displacement at 279. Comfort ratio over that magic number of 30, so you're at 31. That's fantastic. Capsizing screening of under 2 at 1.8, which is great, and S factor of 1.88. That's going to be a reasonably quick boat, very and I think it's got those sort of classic 80s, classic
80s,
boats.
Right. Yeah, the coach roof just
flat, but nice little sheer there.
So you get enough light down below. I mean, and the headroom looks reasonable down below as well.
I think that's a really pretty boat. And her price was $24,750. All right, so maybe you picked this thing up for 19 or 20. and you've got yourself a smoking deal. Now she's a little bit bigger at 38 feet, and that's
Right.
if you're looking to do some cruising with your family.
Doesn't look like a cutter rig in this one.
It really doesn't.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I just can't see if there's maybe a pad up on the foredeck where you could put another forestay on there and hook a sail up. I don't know.
Yeah.
But in any event,
Yes.
that's a pretty boat. I bet she's been all gripped based on how nice that looks for
Yes.
85,
Yeah.
84 rather. But reasonably easy to insure, and I bet the electronics are all pretty decent. But
Yeah. So that's my.
That's your second pick?
Number 2.
that's pretty solid.
Yeah,
All
it's a
right.
good solid. Pearson, they're good names. So
Absolutely,
you're not gonna go wrong
absolutely.
there.
You're not going to go wrong, and that's a big, heavy, safe boat. All right, nice pick, Ken. Let's score it up.
All right. What do you have for your third pick?
This is the champion. I am certain of it. This is a really cool boat. Just popped on the market like 3 days ago. It is a 1970 Cal 43 down in Yarmouth, Maine. List price of $25,000. So right at the limit. But this boat is loaded for bear based on the descriptions. A fast cruising sailboat that took this person's family around the world is now for sale. The boat is loaded with cruising equipment from bow to stern, including Spectra, Watermaker, Viking life raft, silent wind generator, monitor wind vane, an emergency rudder, single sideband, radar, Dickinson heater, fatty knees dinghy, and more. The boat is all cleaned up but needs a little TLC because it's been on the hard for several seasons in a fantastic DIY yard in Yarmouth, Maine. And this is a really neat boat. Here it is out in, that'd be San Francisco, right?
Yeah, that's not a bridge here. I don't think that's over it.
That's not the Bath Bridge.
That's a Deer
Isle. No, that is definitely not. We don't have that many people in the state of Maine based on all those houses right there. But look at this. You got Dodger.
Yeah.
You've got, in this view, you see there's your fatty knees dinghy. You got solar. You got a full enclosure over your cockpit. Solar on your Dodger and back here. Nice big clean decks, spinnaker pole or a whisker pole there, but painted spars it looks like. Stack pack on this, but this boat is going to be fast. It's going to be sturdy. It's been around the world. You've got radar, and these Cal boats are really cool. The Cal 40 won its division in the Newport Bermuda last in 2022. I forget what year that one was, but it was a Cal 40, and
wow.
I mean that thing was surfing waves at 20 knots. Obviously decked out for racing and so forth, but these don't come around very often. Not many of these were built, and I just thought this was special enough to be in my top 3. And the fact that it comes with so much equipment, even if you bought it just for that stuff and put it on another boat, I mean, that's a lot of equipment. But looking at the, and sorry, there are not more pictures, but looking at the sailboat data, 42.65 length overall, 32.5 on the water, 11.5 beam, so pretty narrow for her length, right?
Built for speed. And
Right, no, but she's going to be fast. The displacement is 20,000 pounds, and her max draft is 6.5 feet. So even for a 42-foot boat, that's not that bad.
No.
A Sabre 36 draws 6 feet, for example, or even 6.5, I think. Only 14 of these William Lapworth design, Jensen Marine built Cal 43s were made. So I think that puts it in a rare category that if you want a unique, special kind of boat that's been around the world and it's proven itself, this would be the way to go. Now, it says it has a universal gas engine, 40 gallons, but we don't know what the subject has. It's not listed. So it's worth investigating. And again, it's okay if it's gas. You don't just see sailboats blowing up everywhere, right? I mean, if they were, they wouldn't be making these gas engines at all. And you don't just see power boats blowing up left and right. So don't panic about the gas. Also, 70 gallons of water is not a ton, but I don't know if the subject's been retrofitted for going around the world.
Or had the desalination.
Yes, you've got this desalination, so it doesn't really matter. You can make as much water as you could possibly want. But this is where the boat starts to shine. So cellular displacement of 18.14, so she's going to be quick and light air. Stiff boat at 40. She's a moderate displacement at 260. Comfort ratio is over 30 at 33.62. Capsizing screen of under 2, so you can race this thing offshore if you wanted to. And an S factor of 2.18. So if you're looking for a little bit of speed and exhilarating sailing, this would be the way to go.
But surprisingly comfortable at the same time.
And surprisingly comfortable. You're right, with that comfort ratio. You don't often find those two things are sort of counterintuitive to each other. But yeah, I think this is a really cool boat. And my hope is that we get to go do one of our BoatFools investigations on this boat, because we've reached out to the seller. Yeah, flying a spinnaker. We've reached out to see if we can come do a piece on this boat, because I think it's special enough to do it.
Absolutely.
So that's my third pick. What do you think?
That's a good one.
All
That's
right.
a good one. Yeah, that's got all the bells and whistles for sure.
And big. If you want a big boat, she's
And a bigger
big.
boat.
43.
Yeah.
All right, should we score it up?
Yeah.
You're intimidated now. I see it in your eyes.
Oh,
You're
you
down
wait.
to your last pick.
Just wait.
You're down to your last pick. All right, let's score it up. All right, Kenneth, this is your third pick. God, where did you find this thing, man? Another Facebook Marketplace.
Look at that. This is a beautiful boat. 1964 Olson 30 Sloop for $10,500.
Wow.
Located in South Thomaston, so right near where we are.
Yep.
It is beautiful. It's the only wooden boat, I think, on the list here. It is so pretty, and it's built with the mahogany on white oak frames.
Yep.
It's got all the copper rivets and bronze fastenings. It's got a Yammer 16 horsepower diesel.
Nice.
It says very good condition, and I would say it is, other than like maybe the seat cushions, low hours on that, new batteries,
Yep.
fiberglass overply decks, aluminum spars, stainless steel rigging, genuine main. Look at that, in good condition. It's just a pretty boat. We've done that. We just recently did the Vindu, and I tell you, these Scandinavian boats are just so pretty. Look at the deep combing.
Yep, she's Swedish, you're right.
You're not going anywhere.
Oh, look
out
at
of
that.
this. It was previously named Saga. Now it's called Lindadu.
Lilladoo.
Lilladoo. There
There
she
it
is.
is. Wow.
Yeah, one of the prettiest ones, I think.
It reminds me of the Vindo. I mean,
Yep.
it really does. I
Yep.
mean, with the mahogany coach roof and all that stuff. I mean, it just
Yeah, we were hopefully maybe we can get a closer look at this because it is nearby. Here it is sailing out in Penobscot Bay. It looks beautiful under sail.
Wow.
Maybe you're not
Whoa.
going to go out deep sea, but certainly locally, we don't have a lot of other information on this.
Oh, here's the down below.
So
Look
down
at this.
below, look at the wood ceiling. It's beautiful.
And
It's
you got a
little
stove.
stove. Like I said, the cushions maybe are a little worn, but everything else just looks so nice. It does remind me of that Vindo. The engine looks in really good shape.
It sure does.
And just sitting out on a mooring, it just
This is my favorite
really
shot
pretty.
right here because you get a sense of this nice
the
full
line,
keel and the
full
line.
keel, protected prop.
Yep. So
Yeah,
she is
yeah.
wood, as
Yeah.
noted, but boy, she looks to be in beautiful shape.
Well maintained.
Yeah.
And for that price, I mean, that's
10,500. You
unbelievable.
could be coastal cruising
This is
right
also
now.
just locally where we live.
This is,
at
Night
Rockland,
Marine?
or the Rockland Ferry Station. See
Yep.
that by Night Marine.
Wow.
Yeah. So beat that.
I don't think I can.
Yeah.
That just my heart fluttered when this thing popped up on the screen because that Vindo sort of stole my heart, and this is so similar.
Yeah.
So
luxurious. It just feels so comfortable and down
it's a
below.
rich feeling to
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You're just
yeah.
surrounded by warmth.
So you've got a little more bright work to take care of.
Right, but that's part of the. If you're going to own a boat like this, that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal.
Right. So we were looking at sail data. We didn't quite think we found the exact boat. So
we
if
didn't.
anyone does have more information, we'd love to, because this doesn't have that same look at all. So we're not sure, but maybe it gives us some ideas of the basic.
It's the
steps.
same length, and it is. This one's fiberglass, but it was started production in 1964
So around the
and
same
made
time.
in Sweden, and it's Einar Olsen. So I can't figure it out. This says it has 12 horsepower, but it doesn't matter. But we don't know if this is it, so there's no real point in going through it. But if it is, then these are all decent numbers. But we don't know, so we're not going to go through it. But if anybody has
Just go
any
back to that.
information,
That's all you need.
this is all you need to know. It's going to be comfortable. You can coastal cruise this. You could take it anywhere, basically. I mean, it was built in Scandinavia, like you said, in Sweden. So this thing's made for conditions. And when you see the combing on this cockpit, you realize, yeah, you could go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
You're not falling out.
Yeah.
Nice
Now,
tiller
I
string.
believe it is a deck stepped mast. I have
let's
to go
get-
down below again.
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not
see.
sure.
But it is an aluminum spar, though, right? Yeah, it does appear to be deck stepped.
Yeah.
Which, as we know, is pretty typical for those Scandinavian boats.
Get through the canals and under the bridges. So,
exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm surprised I sort of haven't seen this, because I think it would have caught our eye.
And what surprises me most, it's been on the market for 6 weeks and it hasn't sold.
Yes.
And that's astonishing. And it's probably because it's wood. But there's got to be somebody out there who's like, you know what, it's already in such good shape. If you just maintain it,
That's right.
you're going to be fine.
Yeah.
So,
All right, that's my pick number 3.
darn it. Oh, that's a high bar you just set there. All right, let's score it. All right, so before we score up and tally the 6 presented boats, we're going to go through our 4 honorable mentions. My first one is a really neat 1984 Charlie Morgan 36.5 Nelson Merrick 36, they call it, the 36.5. List price of $21,900, located down in Salem, Massachusetts, and these are great racing boats. So if you're looking for a racer cruiser, this one might be an interesting pick, because at $21,900, the price just dropped $3,000. So these sellers are getting desperate, and I would go in with a low offer. But the engine hours is only 275, and that's very, very low. And she sleeps, I think, 6. But a very sort of unusual design, but typical for the era for Charlie Morgan and the Nelson Merrick boats. And these boats are really quite fast. It's similar, it's going to be faster than a Sabre 36, for example, but she'll sleep 6. And the down below look to be in really nice condition. Nice little nav station here with your electronics, and nice little gimbaled stove in your galley. All the cushions look great, and it's just your drop leaf table there. Nice head. There's your V-berth, all with wood throughout, and it looks like the fit and finish on this is really nice. And like I said,
universal?
Universal diesel with only 275 hours on it. So chain flicks all look good, and cedar wet locker there to hang stuff up in.
I think there was a Dodger. I saw.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Raymarine newer electronics. There's your quarter berth. There it is, looking aft to bow, and I just think if you're looking for sort of a hot shot racing cruising boat, this would be the way to go. So I just thought it was cool and worthy of the top 10, and I hope someone picks this boat up. I'd love to go sailing on one of these. I raced on a Nelson Merrick 45, I think, down in Annapolis, and those boats are fast. But
look
anyway,
at that trans on that slope.
A very aggressive slope, big wheel.
Yeah.
You do have looks like lazy jacks and roller furling, so you've got the stuff to get you going. And you said you thought you saw a Dodger frame on there at some point.
Yeah, it was up in the V berth. I think.
Okay. I think you're right. In 1984, so she's had $20,000 in recent upgrades.
Yeah. So and you're getting it for not much more than that.
Yep. So your first honorable mention?
This one is a Tartan 34C for $15,000 down in Mattapoisett, Massachusetts.
Nicely said.
Yes. Well, my wife is sort of from that area. So
okay. Right. Marion.
Right. Marion.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So 34.
C is for the centerboard.
It is a centerboard.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that's a nice cockpit.
Nice
Dodger.
big cockpit. You got extra winches. You got. The big
primary and
secondaries right there.
Yep.
The travelers up front, but that's that's all right. But
nice deep combing in your cockpit. Wow, this
has got the quarter berth. I mean, you can tell this was used.
Yeah, but it's it looks like it's being either put together for summer season or whatnot. But it looks to be in really nice shape. To be honest with you, this is I think that faux teak flooring, which is very durable when it's not baking in the sun all the time.
Nice. A lot of toe stubbers, as I say, on the deck there, and nice lines. And you said centerboard.
Centerboard, and that's a pretty boat. And Tartan's obviously a wonderful reputation. You've got a quarter berth back there, but it looks like you have everything you need to get going immediately.
Yeah.
So your engine, by the way, talk about engine access, is underneath this. So you lift that right out of there. Mine is similar to the Bristol 33.
Bristol 33, so right there. It looks like even a little higher.
Which is out of the bilge a little bit, so you don't have to worry about flooding it. But in any event, that's a solid one. All right. So my second honorable mention, Kenneth, is a 1974 CNC 35-foot Mark II, list price of $21,200, East Greenwich, Rhode Island. And the reason I picked this is not only is it said to be in good condition with only 1,698 hours on the engine, only 2 owners over 40 years. And not a lot of pictures, but her name is Espresso. She's sort of an espresso brown, kind of cool. And these CNCs, in my opinion, are some of the better looking ones, these 35 Mark IIs. And you've got a transom hung ladder, and you've got nice spars on here, nice deep cockpit, and the down below looks really clean, and all the cushions look great, and it's not going to be too dissimilar from that 36 that we looked at.
No.
And you've got a Dodger and spinnaker pulse if you want to do some racing cruising. This boat will do it all, wheel steering, newer electronics, and these CNCs are built to last. You have to be careful with the decks every now and then, but I think she's a beautiful boat, and a lot of new things, including a new Dodger in 2023, and Variant 2-speed 26 primary winches, nice big winches, and you have a new autopilot as of 2022. Nice. So that's my second honorable mention, and she is, like I said, down in Rhode Island.
All right. So my second honorable mention is a Cape Dory. We love our Carl Alberg design boats.
Yep.
And
full batten main. I mean, you can't go wrong with the Cape Dory 28. Down below looks clean.
Yeah, it looks very clean.
Yeah.
So it's full keel. Just say it's got a Volvo diesel engine, roller furling. It's got a jib boom for easy handling, single handling. A spinnaker, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Water for 18 gallons or so. It's got a full keel, protected
Its
prop.
blackwater tank is 18 gallons. Yeah.
This one is in Vermont, so it's freshwater. So it probably doesn't have all the damage that the salt can have.
Right, and only $12,000
Yeah, so the price is right in there.
up on Lake Champlain, and it can get gnarly up there. So a nice full keel,
Yep.
shallow draft on these, protected prop. That's a sweet honorable
Yeah.
mention. Cape Doors can't go wrong.
No, exactly. Yeah.
All right, well, let's tally up and get back to you with our winner of the New England Under 25. Here we go. All right, so everybody, we have tallied, we've calculated, we've done some beeping, we've busted out the abacus, and we have a clear winner. We had a tie for second, but we had a tiebreaker, which we'll explain in a second. So coming in third place was the 1961 Rhodes Swiftsure 33-footer, what you see here. Beautiful boat, and she had a total of 42 points between the two of us. And I just think she's a stunner. She's third place. Second place, and she won this on a tiebreaker, is the 1985 lberg 29. And it's because she is 1985, she's going to be easier to insure. She also had 42 points, but this boat is beautiful and down below, turnkey, ready to go. And so definitely worthy of second place. That's a nice find. So,
both
coming in at number one this week, drum roll please, hit on the drums is...
You guessed it.
You guessed it. The 1964 Olson 30 at 10,500. You can't go wrong. She is hot, hot, hot. She's this week's number one. Thanks for tuning in. Please hit subscribe. Please share. Please like. Please do all that good stuff. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time.
Enjoy the finer things, we don't care. The view is pretty good from here, and we'll always be sailors, sailors.